Welcome to
No Fucking Filter.
This episode is sponsored by Together We Co.
Together We Co. is a business management and virtual assistant service for photographers started by photographers.
They offer monthly subscriptions and standalone services including post-production, blogging, admin, image curation, website updates, and so much more.
We are happy to offer our listeners 20% off your first service by entering code 20%.
You can follow them on Instagram at togetherwe_co, and you can visit their website at www.togetherweco.com and enter code 20%.
Just to confirm, that's 20%?
20%, Lisa.
Sign me up.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back, everyone. We
Yes.
have a very, 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 very exciting
Maybe our most
and
special guest so far.
Our most special guest so far, 'cause she's so wonderful and someone very close to us.
The third P in our pod.
Yes.
I always have to pee, so that's
so perfect.
Do you have to pee right now?
Not right now.
Okay, good. Who do we have here with us today, Lisa?
We have Bree Lyon, Bree's Photos, Brianne Zimmerman.
All of the above.
I actually didn't know that was your name for so long until I worked with you at a wedding and it was your place card and I was like shook. I was like,
know.
my brain cannot compute.
It's so many
that
syllables.
Your name is not Bree Lyon.
It works.
Yeah.
Bree Lion just works.
I think it does.
Are
It
you
suits
going to tell us a little bit about Bree, or should we let Bree tell us a little bit about her?
Yeah, tell us a little.
We're doing it
bit about
different
yourself.
today.
What do you want to? What do you want to know?
So you're a photographer.
Yes.
What do you do?
Sure am.
What do you?
What do you photograph?
Yeah.
I photograph people.
Yeah.
I photograph mostly weddings.
Mostly what?
Mostly weddings. But I like to dabble.
Yeah.
Keep it interesting.
Yeah.
So,
And you're going to school right now.
and I'm going to school to be a counselor.
Amazing.
I feel like that kind of is fitting. Like, yeah. I just love
I always
connecting with
said-
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the like thing I loved the most about photography was getting to know people.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's different. It's like on a wedding day, you're like on someone's best day ever. Hashtag.
Hashtag best.
Yeah, hashtag best day ever. And then when you're counseling someone, it's like often not that.
Their worst day ever.
Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting contrast.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how they're gonna like overlap yet.
Yeah. Do you feel like
If they will.
now when you have sessions, you're going to be like, and how do you feel about that?
Yes. Like in consults, I'll do consult calls with clients, with photography clients. And I'm like, so let's talk about your relationship. You know, like, I feel like I need to, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm towing the line of like
I don't know. This could be a new thing. You could like give a
couples
counseling session and
I love that.
photograph their wedding.
This
Yeah.
this is an untouched
Yeah.
market. We
Yeah.
just- you need to do this.
I don't know if people would be up for that.
Maybe
Feels
after
really
the wedding.
intimate.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about how we all met.
I know. I'm really excited to get
Yeah.
into that because it's a special story.
Yeah. How did you guys meet? I don't know if I know
Me and
this.
Bree, like, honestly, I feel like we had connected over Instagram, and then
Yeah.
you invited me. You kind of like opened up the world of community to me. So, like, you invited me to one of the events that was happening pre-COVID. There was a lot of events happening pre-COVID, which was
Yeah.
awesome. And you kind of brought me out to a couple of these events, and we just like clicked immediately. And
Yeah, it was like a photographer meetup, like just like
yeah.
I think Cole used to host
bar.
Yeah, it
them,
was
right?
at a bar.
Yeah.
What were they called? There was like one that was like
Oh.
something women or something, or women behind the lens or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I don't know. I think like I don't really remember anyone else that was there except for you.
Okay, memorable.
Aw.
No,
Yeah.
like we literally just like we met and we sat there and talked and we chatted with a couple other people, but then we left and we're like, okay, we need to do this again and again.
Did
and
we
again,
just
and
become
then-
best friends?
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, it just
Also,
happened so
didn't we go to
naturally.
hi-fi together one time?
Yeah,
After one of those
Oh
meetups?
yeah, we did. That was a good.
It's where friendships are made.
That was a good bonding experience, and yes, that happened. Oh gosh, my hi-fi days. Yeah, but like, how did you guys meet?
Bree and I met at another event, ARC, which was the best.
That was so
I don't know
good.
if anyone listening ever went to ARC, but it was amazing. It was
Yeah.
hosted by another photographer named Sachin, and it was like kind of a mix of like a festival, but a conference, and
Yeah.
just so many like cool. I don't know. It was such a great.
Yeah, it was like a
event.
weekend,
Yeah,
like photography.
it was also at a bar, which
thing,
was
also at a
amazing.
bar.
Yeah, like during
This
the day.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it still
Sachin
going
never went.
on, or
No, it didn't happen after COVID, but
Yeah.
that's where
It was
we
in
met.
Vancouver. We
Yeah,
met in
I was
Vancouver.
just
Oh my gosh,
moving,
so
or
fun.
I just moved here, and
Yeah.
someone introduced us, and we're like, "Meet
Mhm.
Bree, she's from Calgary," and I was like, "Perfect." I met
yeah.
Kara there too,
Oh,
and then
wow.
yeah, we hung out a few times after. I think we like went location scouting.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that too. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And then all of us, I feel like we had like
Then we all
one
went for
first
dinner.
hang.
I think we all went to, for dinner with a couple other photographers. But
Yeah.
I feel like same thing. We just immediately clicked, and the three of us kind of clicked, which has
Mhm.
been so nice.
Yeah, well, and I met Lisa through Bree,
Mhm.
and it was again another little meetup or something, or we went for dinner or something.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to think that like we just met like randomly. Well, I guess that's how you meet people. But like it's cool when you like meet your people and you like just get along with someone
Yeah.
so well and it clicks. It just like flows. It's not like it just happens. So
Yeah, I think
Beautiful.
photography, well, a lot of businesses, but photography especially can be so isolating
and lonely
when you're
yeah.
and lonely. Yeah, when you're at your desk, and you kind of need someone to like bounce those business
Mhm.
ideas and just things off of. And it's so nice having.
or someone to just
People that
listen to
relate.
you that like actually understands
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
right? Like, because
relates.
talking to your partner that like might be in a different field, like they don't know.
No
what
one
the hell.
cares.
No one cares.
Yeah.
We were
Or-
doing work days together because it is such a lonely business that we were like,
Yeah.
that was kind of
Yeah.
what we started doing was
Mhm.
like every
Mhm.
time we had a big edit day, we would just meet together and we would do it at a cafe together, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
I love those days.
yeah.
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 We need more of those days.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if
I
any
need body doubling.
if anyone listening is feeling a bit lonely,
Mhm.
reach out to us.
Yeah.
We love making new friends.
Yeah, and we also like post on Instagram when we end up going somewhere and just come meet us. Don't be scared to come hang out.
No. So I wanted to say, you know how I think you've mentioned like that people are intimidated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sophia was intimidated by me.
Really?
Also, which I'm like, I don't feel like I'm a very intimidating person.
No, I don't see it at all.
Extremely intimidated.
Sophia's just a little baby over
Maybe
here.
Sophia's just intimidated by me.
No, I like you guys give off some vibes. Like Bree, like I just was like, I think I kind of had this like idea of you, and I was like so nervous to meet you, and like, but you're just the sweetest like soul, and like until you get to know someone, you really do put like this like judgment up,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's hard not to. But yeah, definitely, both of you were very. What's the right word? Just intimidating. Yeah, like you.
Well, I
guys-
feel like you have a perception of someone based off their like Instagram
Yeah.
account.
Which is wild.
And you're like,
Yeah.
I don't actually know this person at all. 'Cause
Yeah.
your Instagram persona can be so
Yeah.
different than
Yeah.
your real.
Yeah, it almost
persona?
takes some time meeting someone to like undo
Yes.
who you think they are.
100%.
Oh, we've said this before. Like, I mean, it goes both ways, but I love being pleasantly surprised when you meet someone because sometimes people's online presence gives off a vibe. Not all good.
Vibe.
I want to know, what did you think of me?
Like,
Did
before
I?
you met?
Yeah. Did I into? You're like, no.
She wants you to say you're intimidated.
I would say you intimidate me. I would say if I met you now, maybe I'd be like, because you got your like to-do lists. Like now, if I met you,
Yeah.
I'd be like nervous because you're like, it seems like you're so on top of your game.
It's a lie. I'm not.
I was bugging her the other day. Yeah.
30 items
Guess
long.
what?
She never posts a follow-up if she finished it or not, though.
I
That's
never
the
tell
trick.
you if I finish it. It is a to-do
You just
list.
say
It's
you
a
finish
constant.
some of them. You're like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, that is my to-do list for like the whole month or the year.
See, guys, like I'm just a list person. Like I love making lists, even the smallest. Why they're so long, Bree, is because it's not like, okay, answer emails. It's like answer this
every
person, this
email.
person, this person, this person,
Yeah.
and also like it's just totally divided into like smaller tasks so that I can be like
So complex.
Yeah,
Like, I
crossing
really
something
feels
off is a
good.
good feeling.
Yeah.
that feeling.
Yeah.
Exactly why I make
Yeah.
these lists. But
Yeah.
sometimes I don't even get to any of them. So,
We want to see the follow-up next time.
okay, fine. I'll start doing that.
But no, I don't think I was intimidated by you the first time. I think I was just excited
Yeah.
to have a friend.
Yeah.
I was excited to have a friend and like someone to be creative with because
Yeah.
we used to like do so many shoots.
Yeah.
Like we'd be like, I don't know if we were just less busy back then, but I feel like we could like,
Yeah.
we would be like, what are you up to today? Like this, it was like looking magical outside a couple times.
Hey,
Mhm.
the snowy one that we did,
Yeah.
I think of that all the time. Like
Yeah.
that.
It
Like
was like
that's
minus 30.
I know.
But
Yeah.
there was like the
It was-
hoarfrost.
Yeah. It was so.
Oh, is that when you had your chair?
That was no, that
Oh,
was a
okay.
different time, but similar. That was with
Yeah.
a different photographer, Stacy. But no, Sophia and I would just like call each other up if it was like,
walk around?
we want to create today, and
The beauty of
Do you
it
love
was
the
there was no like expectation. I think
Mhm.
that's a
Yeah.
huge thing. It's
Yeah.
like when you just go and you're like more hanging out and just enjoying each
Yeah.
other's company, and then
just
Just,
feeding
like-
off of each other's
Yeah.
like,
It's
excitement.
what
and
fills our
creativity.
creative cup.
and like PSA to like all these people that maybe want that, like there are people that you can try and like
Mhm.
meet up with that just that won't naturally happen with, right? Like
Yeah.
and sometimes you get along with people better than
You have
others.
to put
and-
yourself out there, but I
Yeah.
feel like we've talked about this so much, but not really in depth. Like the Calgary community is so welcoming and so close knit, like the photography community. So we're really
Mhm.
lucky that we have that. And I feel like so many people would be down to meet up or
Yeah.
whatever.
and we're always open, but I
Mhm.
just feel like we're so lucky to know each other. Like
Mhm.
this is like
Mhm.
rare, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you don't form like really amazing. I feel like
Yeah.
it's rare to
Yeah.
form such an amazing friendship out of.
There's
something like
people that drain you, and then there's
Mhm.
people that you hang out with, and they're like fresh air for your like
Yes.
soul. And I feel like
Yeah.
every time we hang out, I just am like,
Yeah.
okay, all is right with the world.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, we're
It feels so much better. And so like inspired and motivated too.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
And now we're like, you know, like I've been really busy with school
Mhm.
and like, and trying to navigate like school and practicum and then also keep my business going.
It's a
Mhm.
lot.
And I haven't been able to like spend as much time with you
Mhm.
guys, but we're like, our friendship is still
Oh yeah.
there. So
Yeah,
it's,
there's
like,
those friends that you cannot see for like months, and then you hang out.
Yeah,
like not a day
nothing's
has
changed.
passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it's like photography brought us together, and then I think we have like it's more than that too. you
Yeah.
know? Like we're
Yeah.
not just work friends. We're
Yeah.
friends.
Friends
Life.
in real
Friends
life.
for life.
It's true.
Real friends. We need
Yeah.
to make one of those TikToks. Like we're photographers, but we'll be like we're real friends.
We'll do that after. Bree, how do you feel about the Calgary wedding community? what's your experience been with other photographers?
I'd say mostly positive.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a few like random times at social events where I meet someone that I'm like, why was that person so rude?
Yeah.
But very rare. It's
Yeah.
very rare. Yeah, I still get like social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I think with some aspects of the community, I'm just a little shy. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of photographers actually are introverts, which is crazy because
Yeah.
we like go to weddings every weekend, but it's different
Totally.
when you have a camera between you and people and you
Mhm.
don't have to mingle and chat. You can kind of be a fly on the
Totally.
wall.
Yeah.
And it's such a thing I've noticed. Like so many of us
Yeah.
are introverts. So
Yeah.
a photographer hang is always just an awkward kind of vibe sometimes.
Yeah. I find the other introverts
Yeah.
and I'm like link arms with them. And I'm like, okay.
Be my support person.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's just like anything, there's some people that you're really like, you naturally feel connected to, and then
Mhm.
other people that it's like, it feels a little less easy or something. It's like
Yeah.
kind of like clunky and
Yeah.
There's always gonna be those people, like, right? And I feel like that just like I was really lucky because I met you immediately, right? But like if I had met someone else, maybe I would have felt really like discouraged about trying to meet more
Like
people,
putting yourself out there.
because yeah, it's hard to put
Totally.
yourself out there.
I
And
think like your first few experiences probably play a big role in what you think.
totally.
Mhm.
I'm thinking like my first community experiences were, yeah, they were interesting. Like one was with a group of photographers that were kind of like on their way out of weddings. Like they were like, we're trying to get out. And I was like, I'm so fresh and new and I'm really excited about weddings. And it kind of was a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh no. Is this what happens? Like you just get
Yeah.
bored or something? Or you're like, I don't know.
I think that's
Burnout.
part of why we
Burnout.
connect too, is we're all sort of in the same like stage of
Yeah.
our businesses.
Yeah.
Like
I think
we
so.
can laugh about those keeners.
Yeah.
But we're not like
We don't
super
charge
jaded
enough.
yet. Do you
Yeah.
ever, there's like so much talk about community over competition and that whole vibe. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Or what do you feel about like the competition aspect in Calgary of the community?
Yeah. I don't, I think it pops up every now and then where I'm like, where you're like, oh, someone else got booked that, or you meet with the same clients. I think it's pretty rare, but it happens.
We just had that last
Did you?
week. We were talking about, I was like, oh, I have a meeting tomorrow, whatever, for this wedding that I'm kind of stoked about. And Sophia was like, what day? Where is it? And it was the
Yeah.
same couple. And
yeah.
I mean, thankfully we're close and we talked about it, so it's not weird. But
Yeah.
There's definitely like crossover. Ultimately,
yeah.
we are all technically each other's competitors, but
Yeah.
I feel like amongst the three of us and with other people that are like our close friends, if I were to like if you were to book that wedding and I didn't, I would be like, oh, good, I'm glad she did.
Someone I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
And I think the like community has given me so much more, like it way outweighs any fear of not having enough, like just from referrals, like knowing that if one of us can't shoot a wedding, we're gonna recommend someone we know to shoot it. Or like I would rather have someone I know, one of you guys, come and second shoot for me if you can.
That's the best. By the way,
Yeah.
I hope we can make that happen.
Yeah,
this year.
I think we're all very like positive people too, and we're looking at this more in the sense of like there is such a great community over competition. There is so much work to be had. It's just about your client finding you is like the biggest thing, right? And I think the people that naturally are more competitive are kind of not so much in the community. That naturally gets kind of they
exclude themselves.
They exclude themselves because they are very competitive, and it's like, so this community that we do have has kind of formed in itself, right?
Mhm. I think you can pick up on those vibes from people too. Like if they're
Mhm.
genuine when you meet someone, those are the people you're going to connect with. And
Yeah.
those people you briefly mentioned that maybe you didn't get a friendly reception from their heart might not fully
Yeah.
be in it.
Lead with like kindness,
Mhm.
lead with openness. Like, I don't know what else to say to that. Like, people that come off rude or have anything rude to say, like, I'm sorry, but you're not my person.
Yeah, and I think it's also like, don't, like, with inquiries and stuff, it's like learning how to not take it so personally.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I think because there's so many photographers. We know it is a very saturated.
It's saturated.
It feels
sure.
saturated a lot of times.
I'm just feeling that this year.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really feel that until now.
Yeah, this year
this year-
feels a little especially like that.
I don't know if it's because we're all connecting more. Like
Yeah.
also if you're a couple, just so you know, we all talk. So if you're meeting with all of us, we know.
Wait,
can
you're
we do it
inquiring
again?
with
'Cause I missed it.
35 people.
I didn't know we were all going to say that at the same time, okay, guys?
What did we say?
We all talk.
Yeah, I feel included.
You're part of the team now. Yeah, I don't know if it's the economy or we don't need to go too deep into this, but I think people are definitely price shopping and they'll email 20 photographers.
Yeah, or
And-
30.
Yeah, or 30.
Or let's be real here.
Like a
Someone.
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
There was.
And some people will
Yeah.
even tell you that in their...
Well, okay.
You can feel it. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, you actually are just checking, but you're just checking boxes.
Yeah.
And those aren't the
It's-
clients I want to know.
No.
I'm going to connect with.
No.
Yeah, if there's any clients listening, like, we're also interviewing you at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't like,
True.
we will not always take it. So, like,
Yeah.
I actually have a quick little story because it's fresh. I just had a meeting and I was the first of her day.
Uh-huh.
She cut our meeting short because she's like, oh, just so you know, I have 3 minutes left because I have to go meet with another photographer. And I was like, okay. She's like, you're the first of the day. Like, I have so many meetings today. And I'm like, okay. And, you know, I felt really rushed and that's not what I
Mhm.
wanted. So I was like, I'll finish this in an email. But like, I just kind of closed it out with all the best. Like, you know, here's some questions that you should ask other photographers in your future consults. And I hope you connect with someone and I hope to hear from you. And like, that's all you can do,
Mhm.
right? And it's like,
It is disheartening though. Like, I feel like once I know they're meeting with a bunch of people, I almost like, I think because we're not competitive, it doesn't
Totally.
fuel me. I'm not like,
No.
okay, well, I'm really going to
No,
let myself shine.
no.
I'm kind of take myself out of the game a bit. I'm like, well, you know what?
I think
Good
about
luck.
this like, I'm like, I would be terrible on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm just going to give up now.
Yeah. I'm going to go home. You can keep the rose.
she's like, but and she's leaving. And she's like, you know what? I really enjoy my time. I made so many friends.
Yeah.
That's just not for me.
Love the community. Love the
I
community.
think you two will be perfect together.
Yeah. But like, our clients are ones that have been following us for so long, who really love us
Yeah,
because we
totally.
love to connect with our clients. This isn't just a job to us. Like, this, we approach this in such a different way.
I think
Yeah.
you feel it too when you meet with a couple that like really has gone through your website, has followed you,
Mhm.
likes your work, likes you. You can feel it.
Totally.
And then you can feel just that sort of like
I think I do a better job.
disconnect.
Yeah, I do a better job when I feel like really valued,
Yeah.
you know, and it's
connected.
like, yeah, and connected. And it's like, yeah, I want the clients that share like similar values to
Mhm.
me, and that like, you know, we're going to put so much energy and heart and effort into your day. Like, we all work really, can I swear? We all work really fucking hard. You know, like we're not just showing up and going through the motions on your wedding day. Like, I know that I work really hard. I know you guys work really hard. And it's like,
And we
Yeah,
care.
and we
like
care,
we
yeah.
we are, I feel like everyone's ultimate goal is for everyone to be obsessed with you, their day, their experience,
Mhm.
and their photos. And you
Yeah.
want to have that friendship after and hope that they're kind of like a
Totally.
lifelong client.
Yeah.
Totally.
It just makes you feel like you're like, oh, I'm not just hired help. You
Yeah,
know, like I'm
yeah.
not just hired to show up and do
Yeah.
my thing and then leave. It's like you're spending
Mhm.
your whole wedding day pretty much with us.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time with like the bride and groom.
Yeah.
More than anyone else
Yeah.
really on the wedding day. So it's like
Totally.
I want to be friends.
Yeah. And sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Not just like wedding couples either. It's the
Yeah.
same when you like get to know a family and photograph them every
Totally.
year, or you're there for
Mhm.
newborn shoots, maternity. Like we get to kind of be on the inside scoop of so many things. Like we've all
Yeah.
shot proposals where we're like in someone's proposal, which is crazy. I've
Uh-huh.
like been there for a birth, which was wild.
Oh,
like
I want to do that.
so many.
Hire me for your birth.
Yeah, hire Bree. Yeah. And then I don't know. It's like you're like a part of someone's life at that point.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting, like, we have an interesting business or job because it's so, like, we're people.
Yeah.
Or, like, it kind of like blurs the lines sometimes, I
Yeah.
think, of like, am I a person or am I a business? Or am I a
Yeah.
person with a business? Like,
Yeah.
I-
I think that's what makes it not feel like a job. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it pays our bills, but it like, I don't know.
yeah.
It's an interesting thing.
I'm feeling like now that I have been doing a different job for the last little while, I'm
Yeah.
realizing how great this career is and
Yeah.
how awesome it is to be a photographer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's made me so much more grateful for it. And yeah, it's like, it's pretty great.
Do you ever feel like having photography as your job has taken away from your kind of like joy and passion for it?
I hate to say yes, but yes.
Yeah.
A little bit, you know, like I used to take photos of everything, everything, my whole life. Like it was, and I have struggled to keep up with my own personal, like taking photos of my life because I think I'm like, I have to go edit those, like cull them, you know, like that part is a drag. Not taking the actual photos, but like the work afterwards is kind of lost some of its charm, you know, because I used to edit like, I don't know, just when you're editing thousands of photos all the time, you're like, I don't really want to edit any more photos.
Yeah, or
you
you
know?
like literally don't have time.
Yeah. But I feel like you guys are really, like you guys seem to still take a lot of personal photos.
I wish I took more. Yeah.
You do creative stuff all the time, Sophia, or maybe not all the time, but it looks like you're doing it.
I think this last year I felt so burnt out that I was like wanting to do so much creative stuff. And also I was just like, it was smaller stuff too, like not like crazy big sessions or anything, but like just counting like kind of through. And I'm like, oh, whoa, like even like I would say like some of the galleries are split into 3 from like one day or something. Like for example, when we went to that styled shoot and then I was taking photos of some other people, like it was awesome. And like I was just like, I felt very inspired, but that was like 5 different things, right? So like that's where it adds up. That's why 43 sounds like a lot, but like I was really trying to fuel that like burnout.
It's crazy how working more cures your burnout.
But I think I feel like you're right. Like,
when it's for you, it's not work, right?
Yeah.
That like fuels our creative
totally
energy.
And you, like Lisa, you still take photos of, like, you take lots of cool photos of your kids, and that's really important to you. And I like, I think creative work is important because it also then it comes into your client work. Like, would you say like it helps you
for sure,
like you photographing your kids and they're like eating ice cream and in cool light, it's like that probably shapes how you approach a family session with another family.
I actually just posted about this because I feel like, I mean, my kids are still young, I guess, but they're like out of that little kid phase, and I think you just never have enough photos. And just looking back, I'm like, oh, and I'm not in any of them. We have beautiful family albums, but I'm not in any of them.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of my goal is. I mean, I've talked about this at length, how I feel about like posed kind of photos. Like, yes, maybe you need a couple here and there, but what really fuels me is being able to like take those sort of a day in the life photos with the family and capture those moments, because
they're real
and they're gone.
Yeah.
That you don't ever get it back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, being able to just do those things that excite you,
Yeah.
I think keeps you going.
Yeah. I started shooting film a little bit, and that was kind of my workaround for not having to edit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have my grandpa's old film camera, and I have a little Polaroid camera, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Just
You
like,
and your Polaroids,
I love them.
that.
I love them so much. I love how like immediate they are.
Yeah.
I love how how they can be like they're flawed. They're definitely not always perfect. Sometimes I'm like, what was I thinking? But like, yeah, it's like still those little snapshots of life, and yeah, it's my way of trying to like hold on to that when I do feel like I'm so busy that like planning a creative shoot is like I literally don't have time for that. So
I think social media like makes us think that a creative shoot needs to be this epic styled thing with, you know, a florist and a bride and a gown and whatever, but it really doesn't need to be. A creative shoot could just be going outside with your friend. Like,
totally.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do a lot of like self-portraits. That was my
I loved your self-portrait.
I haven't done one in a while. I've been like, it's in the back of my head where I'm like, I should probably do like, I think it's time.
Yeah.
They're really fun for me, and I don't have to direct anyone. It's just literally me directing me. I'm like, I'm a great subject, you know. I
know my angles.
Also a little bit of a pump up, because you're like, wow, okay, like, it's nice to be in front of the camera once in a while.
Yeah. I find it like very therapeutic. And that's like something I've been pondering with my counseling, is like combining because I think having your photo taken can be really like beautiful, like transformative experience if you have a positive shoot, you know, like boudoir is really empowering. And I think it would be cool. It's like the overlap of art and therapy. And
you had something recently. Tell us all about it. That you had a teaching,
my self-portrait workshop.
Self-portrait workshop.
Yeah, I did a workshop. It was this time last year, I think, or maybe in the fall. I don't know. It was a while.
Time is a construct.
Burn your clocks. I did like a therapeutic self-portrait workshop, and it was awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was my first time teaching anything, and I was like, ooh, really nervous, but it felt so natural because it was just something that I actually really know. And it was super well received, and there was a psychologist there that I didn't know. Like, I knew most of the people, but there were a few people that I had never met, and she was like, we need more of this. Like, this could be so beneficial for so many clients. And,
that's wonderful. Like, there is a way. Like to put
merge
together,
the two.
Merge the two.
Yeah. I've been thinking of like, so I'm really interested in like parts work as a construct of like, we have different parts inside of us. So like, my inner teen is really loud right now. I'm like, for some reason, I just want to go and like smoke a cigarette. Like,
we have some right here. Just kidding.
I left them out. I've never been a smoker, but I'm like, why do I want to smoke a cigarette? Like, not every day, but sometimes.
You're like, why am I in the alley, like hiding from my mom when I'm doing this?
But we all have like, you know, you've heard of your inner child, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's an inner teen as well. But there's like, we have different parts of us, and I'm like, it would be really cool to create like to do a photo of like, what does your inner child look like?
Oh my god.
What is she dressed like? What does she wear? What kind of things does she like? And doing like, you know,
Bree,
like a
that
cake
would be so
smash.
cool.
I love this.
A newborn shoot.
Yeah.
I love this. This could be like a
Yeah.
series. Like,
Yeah.
like you should do that.
Yeah,
I'd
I
love to
might.
see that.
I might.
Yeah,
It would be
I
like,
love that.
it could be fun and
yeah.
just to like get to know yourself a little bit better
Totally.
and like,
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
That
start
was my recent
thinking
idea.
about this.
Yeah.
'cause I feel like I live in my teen all the time. Like an angsty teen.
Yeah.
And it is like,
Yeah.
wow.
mine's just like, I don't know. I'm swearing a lot today, but she's maybe
It's-
she's here right
It's
now.
the name of our podcast, so you're allowed.
She's just like, fuck you, world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette in the alley and be cool.
Okay, I love that.
I want to hang out with her.
What are you? What are you? What era are you living in?
I'm
right
in
now?
my grandma.
We're very opposites right now.
I started a book club and like to go to bed early.
I have that inside me too, but I just haven't bought the books for that club.
You're rebelling.
Yeah. A little rebellious.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I'm a mix actually. But
We kind of talked about this a little bit, but how does that isolation kind of come up for you? Like, how does photography feel isolating to you?
I don't know. Yeah, like I think it's interesting how it's like you go, you do shoot, you put on your extroverted hat, like shooting a wedding. You're like social and I don't know, having such a good time with your
You're on.
clients. You're on.
Yeah.
And then like it's like the other 6 days of the week, I'm like barely like putting on clothes, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm just living in like a little bit like a gremlin, especially in the winter.
ugh, winter's
Um,
so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, how do you strike that balance? And
Yeah, if anyone listening is not familiar kind of the like process, so we are out taking the pictures, dressed up, whatever.
looking good, wearing our cute hats.
cracking jokes,
Yeah.
making everyone happy.
Yeah, the way you usually see us online.
Yeah. And then we come home.
Yeah.
And it takes weeks to edit the photos from that.
Yeah.
Takes me weeks.
Takes me weeks.
to
Maybe
edit
longer.
those photos. So we're like alone
Yeah.
at our desk, at our computer.
Yeah. It is. It's weird because it's like we're with people when we're doing like the shooting,
Mhm.
and then we're just behind screens like
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the
like
rest of the time.
The screen is the biggest part of what we do,
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
the camera, which is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I don't love that.
I think honestly, I was just thinking this morning. I saw a video. It was like the hard truths or the reality behind like this or whatever it was, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like people getting into photography, it's like we have all been there. Like starting out, we're so excited for this new venture. We're very passionate. We have all these like hopes and dreams, and not to crush those for anyone, but like holy
Go
shit,
ahead.
like,
Go ahead.
there was a big checklist that's
Spoiler
like,
alert.
Reality check.
guess what? There's a ton that comes with
Yeah.
being a photographer, and it's not
Yeah.
pretty, right? Like there's
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful thing to be able to be a photographer and do what we
Mhm.
do, but there's like
There's hard
anything,
parts,
there's
too.
hard parts, yeah.
Yeah, the
Totally.
first thing anyone ever says when you tell them like what you do, they're like, "Whoa, that's so cool!
God.
That sounds so fun!" And you're
You
like,
just go
"Yeah,
take
it is.
pretty pictures all the time, and we're like, that's like 10%
Yep,
of it.
that's all we
Yeah.
do."
Yeah, it's hard. There are hard parts. I feel like I've been struggling with that a little bit this week. Just like, you know, balancing my life, my personal life, and the business. Like this summer,
Yeah.
so many friends are getting married.
Oh my god, so many.
All
Yeah.
of them.
You literally, this is
All of them are getting
Yeah.
married. I'm like, what? Why didn't you guys consult with me?
Yes.
Spread this out a little bit, you know?
Yeah, everyone should check.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, it's hard to like commit. I'm struggling because I'm committed to photograph some weddings, and then I have friends that are celebrating that want me to be there, but I've been like committed for a year.
It's just
Yeah.
so such.
Let's talk
such
about
a-
this, actually.
Yeah, like
because you posted it in one of our wedding group chats today, being
Yeah.
like floating it out there, kind of everyone's thoughts of
Yeah.
like, my good friends are getting married, but I've already booked a wedding.
Yeah.
Do you think it's acceptable to hire an associate, so hire someone else to go shoot that wedding for you?
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't
It
know what
goes-
you took away,
But
but
it got a little spicy.
yeah, I was like observing from the back, but most people were like, no,
Never.
you've committed, that's
Yeah.
it, you can't
Yeah.
go to your friend's wedding.
Yeah.
And I feel the opposite. I'm like, well, you're not going to bail on this couple that
No.
booked you, obviously, but I think it would be acceptable to have that conversation with them and be like, I really do want to do this personal thing.
Mhm.
How would you feel about me sending an associate
Mhm.
or
And like we were speaking on before, like you're like more connected with certain couples than others, and I
Mhm.
feel like that's really honestly terrible for me to like say or bring up, but like it's like
Yeah.
True.
there's some that we're more excited, like, you know, like we're excited for everyone, but some feel like more like okay, you have no real connection to me. I'm showing up doing a job. There are jobs, and then there are
Mm,
the like emotional work, right? And like
yeah.
where you really connect with a client. And unfortunately, in order to run a fucking business, you have to have clients that are just jobs, because you
Yes.
can't
They can't all be
rely
like
on
soul mates.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a beautiful world, we'd
Yeah.
be soulmates with all of our clients. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm also kind of like I see both sides of
Yeah.
it too. And that's a whole freaking thing. If anyone's getting
Mhm.
into photography, we live a different life. Like
Mhm.
we're not going to work and we're thinking about our next week or month. We're thinking years in advance
Yeah.
here. Okay.
And it's like every summer weekend.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like
Summers don't exist for us.
we have maybe 4 months of summer in Alberta.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Ah.
3.
That's a little
maybe
heavy-handed.
3 good months.
Yeah.
But it's like that's a lot to give up those like weekends with your family and your friends, and like
Mhm.
Yeah.
to miss important events. I guess I'm like, yeah, this is what my conclusion was today. And after that conversation was, I'm like, I'm a human first, and I'm a business owner second.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes like things come up, and me as a human is like, I think it's okay to be transparent and say like, hey, this is a really hard conversation, and like obviously if I could do anything different, I would, that would be my first choice. But sometimes it's like, I don't want to miss all the events I don't want to miss all the like special moments for my friends and
You never get
family.
that back.
Yeah.
Once you've missed it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of what leads to burnout too, right? Is like
Yeah.
starting to resent
Yeah.
your business a little bit because you missed all
Totally.
these things that
Yeah.
you wanted to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely like a weird line to walk.
And I wouldn't do that with like, wouldn't make it a habit. Wouldn't get into like
No.
being
No.
like, I just don't feel like going to this wedding today.
No.
But I think if it's like if it's something that really does feel important, or you don't want to resent your business.
Yeah.
You have to consider yourself, right? And like exactly what you guys said. It's just a hard freaking thing to do,
Yeah.
but I think communication is key. And
Yeah. It's weird because there's not many, or I can't think of any, but there's not really many other professionals that you couldn't just reschedule with. Like, people reschedule all the time.
Yeah.
Your
Totally.
hairdresser could reschedule your appointment because they have something going on, or your doctor,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
happens all the time. But when
Yeah.
it's a wedding, it's like a different.
There's a lot of
thing.
pressure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
but I mean, I've never bailed on a wedding before.
Yeah.
No.
Never.
Well, you wouldn't be bailing.
Right. I've never like not photographed one that I've been
Yeah.
committed to.
Yeah.
I think And I'm trying to strike that balance, I
Mhm.
guess,
Totally.
of like I made a commitment and
Mhm.
also I have a life that I want to live, and that's part of the reason why I got into photography was I was like I worked an office job for 2 years and I was miserable and I felt like this gave me my life back.
Yeah.
And it was like it gave me like the opportunity to be more present with my
Mhm.
friends and family and like and that's so beautiful and I'm so grateful. And I think just like remembering that, like that's why I got into it too.
It's so crazy that it's like so flexible. It is
Yeah.
because we do live different days every day. It's like for me, it's perfect because I hated like the same thing, mundane, right? But also it's like it's hard because we are booking and
it's like it's
everything
flexible, but it's not.
it's not.
I think both things can be true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that way with kids. It like
Yeah.
gives me the freedom to take them to school every day and go on their field trips and whatever. But the takeaway is that I don't spend Saturdays with them for the whole summer, basically.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And when they're off school in the summer is like the busiest time for me. So it almost becomes like a stressful thing because they're home all day.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work. So yeah, there's give and take.
Totally. Yeah. The
Yeah.
pros and the cons.
Exactly.
Yeah, we recently talked about this, about how there isn't a balance.
Yeah.
You
It's
kind of
so
have to
hard,
like
yeah.
be all in and then take time off.
Yeah.
Because trying to spread yourself thin and do everything just doesn't work.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Crazy. Honestly, I'm like,
This conversation is getting
Sophia stressed. Another question I have, we kind of talked about social media a little bit already. Do you feel like having, like we mentioned that we're on this like photographer group chat, do you feel like social media has kind of brought us all closer together, or do you feel like it's divided us in some way?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that chatting with each other, like I think it's made me feel more connected, but it also struggle with like seeing what everyone's up to all the time and not like feeling the comparison. Like I struggle with the comparison. And like towing the line between like being inspired by what someone is doing and being like bummed that I'm not doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's tricky to
Agreed.
navigate.
I think we all feel that imposter syndrome a little bit.
Totally.
But it's like, it's so hard when you're bombarded with it to be like, wait, this isn't real life. Most of these cool, amazing shoots didn't just happen and these people are not getting paid for them.
Totally.
This is like a creative thing. Not everyone's getting these like epic
bookings and
weddings. Like some people are getting weddings that they're not super inspired by, that they're not sharing on their Instagram, and they just, it's that part of it's work.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you said, like it is a job too. So although it's like our art, some days are a job.
Yeah.
It's not, days are not as shareable as others. So it's hard trying to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm also like, I'm trying to, like, I do show the not super like styled weddings. Like,
I love that about you.
I think my jam is like, I'm like, I want to show real weddings.
That's my philosophy
and like
too.
real people and real couples and real, just like real stuff. Cause I think I'm trying to like let go of that, like, look like I have it all together, look at what I'm doing, like
imperfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
Right?
And just, make people feel like,
I think that puts clients off too. I mean, I've said this before, but if you are looking at someone's feed and everyone on there looks like a model,
you can.
First of all,
don't see
it's not
yourself
real
in them.
life.
Yeah.
Second of all, there's people, their clients that they're choosing not to show because they don't think they'll look good on their feed.
Yeah.
So
What, like,
That's
I
a
am
red
way
flag.
too sensitive of a person to do that. I'd be like, I would feel so bad not like,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't know. I had another photographer message me recently, being like, because I shared a wedding that was DIY'd and it was fun. It had a theme. It was really cool. I loved shooting it, but it wasn't like over the top. It was like doable for your average person. And yeah, another photographer messaged me to be like, thank you for sharing this. Like, I want to see more of this, like more real people, real couples.
Totally.
And I've had couples that will reach out and they're like, wow, I really like, I see myself in your photos.
Yeah.
Like, I see a real person, not like a styled model with like tens of thousands of florals. Like, you know, I used to be into those kind of styled shoots, and now I'm like, this just doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't align with me, and it's not something I would probably be able to achieve as if I had a wedding, you know? So it's like, yeah, I just think
you kind of get those like really interesting couples. Like whenever you are posting, I'm like, well, okay, like your people are finding you, you know what I mean? And
they
it's
are,
like,
yeah.
And it's because you're sharing them. Yeah. I think, I feel the same way as you. Styled shoots are just not inspiring to me. Like, they're beautiful and I'm like, oh, pretty, whatever. But they're not real people having like a real emotion or a real moment. So
totally. And you're like fighting with like 16 other photographers for the same shot. It's like,
I think so. Yeah, like going to a styled session that's set up by someone else, it's really not something I think all of us can agree is like not really something we go to very often or partake or
it's fun every once in a while.
Like,
or if you're just starting out, it's a great way to build your portfolio.
Yeah. But it's like I'll go and I usually end up not even sharing any of them, right? Like I'll shoot and I'll like have fun. It's more of a networking thing for me. But but planning one for yourself, because we all come up with really cool ideas, is a whole other thing.
Totally.
Said.
Yeah.
But I agree. Yeah.
You're like, I think that you're really good at that. You're like, you have a vision and then you're like, this is what I'm gonna create. And that's like a creative experience for you. It's not like you're like, I want my clients to put something like this together on their wedding day. It's not like an expectation. It's just like, I have this vision and I want to create it. And that's
it's just for you.
Exactly.
That's different than like, you know, putting together a styled shoot that's just like, I don't know,
trendy right now or whatever.
Totally.
Like, think outside the box, and that's how you like kind of get those creative juices flowing, is doing something different.
So I guess if anyone's listening and they don't know what a styled shoot is, it's usually set up by a planner or a photographer or someone who they have like a couple, and the couple might be real or they might be models, but they're acting as models that day. And then companies like the florist, the bridal gown, all of that will provide their stuff because they want those photos for content. And a bunch of photographers will come and take photos. So a lot of what you see on, you know, Instagram is a styled shoot and not a wedding.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're all just like, I'm sorry, but they're all just skinny.
They're all the skinny too. It's just
like white, straight couples still.
I do feel like it's getting slightly better. Like, people are conscious of that. But yes, the typical couple that's out there getting married isn't going to see themselves represented in most of those styled shoots.
I just think like they still, I think, just from like a diversity perspective, I'm like,
there's a lot of work.
Still have a long ways to go. Like, just, and if you're doing a styled shoot, try and, I don't know, switch it up a little bit. I think that would be really refreshing for most people to see and shoot.
I would love to see, like, and I think a lot of people can agree on this, is like, there's not a lot of diversity on my page. And I've talked about this with a friend of mine who's like, you need some more diversity on your page. And I'm like, bro, I know, but guess what? Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm kind of like cock blocked. I'll just say it.
Say more.
I don't have stuff to post, or if I do,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they don't want me to share. Like, I just did this beautiful session. I'm like, okay, like, I would love to share this. This is so different than my usual stuff or
Yeah.
like, whatever. Like, I want to showcase these people and these couples.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, a lot of them have said, like, they don't want
They
their.
don't feel comfortable. or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah. Like, at least you're aware.
Yeah.
You're aware of like, oh, I want to represent more. I wish I had.
There's really a fine line that you're walking because like I would never want to upset anyone, and like and then I also don't want to plan a style shoot that's like, whoa, okay, like she's trying
performative.
really hard to like include them, and it's like I just what has happened, and people come to me and I share it, and that's unfortunately that's my feed, that's my clients.
I think diversity can be in all ways. It doesn't necessarily need to be like skin color or whatever. It can be in all ways. So that can be like body type, the type of wedding you're sharing. Same sex couples. Like there's a million ways to be diverse, and I feel like you're doing that because you're sharing your clients who are all different kinds of people. So.
And just like providing a safe space for those like for that variety of clients to show up. And and I think if you see someone that you're like, hey, would you like to be photographed? Like, it's up to us to kind of put in a little bit more effort to either be really vocal about like, hey, I'm an ally. Like that's been on my Instagram for years now. Like love, I support all love, and it's not that
you
hard.
can say something about that on your website even.
I
had this conversation a few years ago with shout out Vows by Judy. Judy, we love you. We all know Judy. I was feeling the same way. Like I wanted to share more diversity, but I wasn't attracting it. And she was like, well, you don't have to show it to attract it. You could say something on your page about how you want to photograph people of all types. Or like what you said, if you know a couple that you think is diverse in some way, you can just offer them up a shoot. Or there's so many ways. And then, I think seeing those people lead.
Showing, like I have
a place for me.
I have on my website that I'm inclusive, and people have searched, and I popped up on Google.
What did you do on Google?
Popped up on Google. But I also have like, same-sex couples on my landing page. It's like I'm showing the work that I want to be found for, and I am showing what my values are and talking about them.
Right.
And I talk about them on my Instagram, and I talk about it on my website. And, if you're just like, put it out there, and then people feel like, oh, this is a safe person that I can come to. Because there's still just a long way to go, and there isn't 100% all spaces that people feel safe in. So if you can be one of those, that's great.
Are all 3 safe spaces.
Yes.
Bree, you do a great job at representing
you really do.
that, and like showing what you like your beliefs and all that, and letting someone really get to know you right away, right? And what you stand for. So.
And I think that's kind of how we stand out in a saturated market. It's like
be yourself.
It's refreshing to see. We've talked about this again a few times, but there's so many trends coming and going right now. I won't call out the trend, but there's quite a few photographers where you would see their work and maybe not know who took it because it's all part of a trend. But I do feel like the 3 of us shoot a lot different than that style that's trendy right now. And yours, especially, Bree, if I was just cruising along and saw a photo, I would know immediately if it was one of yours. And I think it's because you've really like refined your style and your vibe. Like we just know a Bree photo, and it's so nice to see someone that's like not just riding the coattails of another trend.
And sometimes I want to jump on with the trends.
We all do.
But then there's some trends that I'm like, I get over so quickly because I'm like,
so does everyone else.
It's like, trends are interesting. It's like, they're fun, and also they get like done.
They're short-lived.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very short-lived. I feel like when you are starting out too, like you're figuring out what your
Yeah.
style is and everything, and then you really do like get settled into something, and it's hard to be like looking at something and editing it differently or taking it differently because it doesn't feel like it looks right almost. Like that's how I edit
Yeah.
now. I'm like so quick because I'm like doesn't look right. There we go.
Yeah.
It looks right. Boom.
It
Like
doesn't look
have
like
to-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you kind of get known for certain things that you do or your little quirks. So
Mhm.
if anyone's listening, like just starting out, it's my biggest thing is don't like you can take advice from people, but like let yourself develop into
Mhm.
who you are and what
Mhm.
you like to see.
Explore.
I
and-
almost think
yeah.
if you're just getting started too, you need to go through and unfollow like every photographer.
Oh my god, I do that every like
Same.
2 years.
When I start to feel that imposter
Sorry if
syndrome,
I've unfollowed you
Yeah.
and then followed you again. But
I do the same thing because
yeah.
you kind of touched on it. It's like there's that fine line between being inspired by someone and then like
Well, yeah, and when you
copying
see,
them.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
see like, I don't know, you see images and they like then you naturally, I think, just recreate them rather
Yeah.
than like thinking of your own original
mhm.
idea. And it's like, yeah, so sometimes I just
yeah.
want to clear the slate and
Yeah.
look for inspiration elsewhere. Like,
Yeah, if you're surrounded, if you're following, 10 or 15 photographers that are all shooting in a similar style, you're going to start to look like that, I
Totally.
think, especially if you are just starting out and you haven't like refined your own vibe yet, then it's a good idea to kind of like start following other stuff that
Mhm.
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
photographers.
I love that. I'm going to do that.
yeah. Well, like you can look for inspiration, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like old photographs are really cool. Like
Yeah.
old,
Oh,
like
yeah.
vintage. They used to have like one shot, and so they would
Yeah.
really take the time to like set it up perfectly. I don't know. When I was in New Zealand a couple years ago, I found this old photo book, and me and my friend Dee, who's also a photographer, we were looking through it,
Love her.
and we were like, "This is blowing our minds. Like the composition was so amazing, and it's like these are photos from like I don't know the 40s or something.
Yeah.
It's like that was really inspiring, and Jennifer Moore also shout
Yeah.
out.
I think we did the same masterclass.
Yeah,
did we?
she talks about
She
films
was awesome. Yeah.
and being inspired
gets her
by
inspiration.
movies.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Sorry to circle back just to Instagram really quick and social media. We all know that it can be like super hard on mental health and everything too. So I will just say that like I have figured out a way that it works for me, and
Please
it's
share.
it's post and close, post and
Yeah.
close.
Post and ghost.
Yes, and
Like,
ghost.
that's just how I use it for a business platform, and all I do is I go on, and there's days where I get like sucked into the swiping and the
yeah.
dead end scroll, but
The
like
doom
I
scroll.
doom scroll.
Yeah.
But the best way that's worked for me, like as much as they like to say that engaging with other accounts and everything, it just doesn't work for me very well because
No
I
engagement from Sophia.
No,
She hasn't liked to post
The
in 2
only ones
years.
getting engagement from me are dogs and cat memes.
Yes. And if you haven't seen a like on your most recent photo, it doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean like
I'm keeping
anything.
track.
It literally means I just
like
open
for like
the app.
Sophia.
Oh god.
Also, LOL to this because I know you and you're like, I'm staying off Instagram today. And then you're like, TikTok? Here we go.
TikTok's a whole other reason. I love to
See, I'm
scroll on
not.
TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok. Well, I have TikTok, but like the algorithm. I know. Lisa messaged me, and I got back to her like 2 months later, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to open this app for 2 months.
I don't even know how to use it, but I'm like the amount of information and things that I've
Your
learned off of
algorithm
TikTok
is
like
You
it's not
guys-
showing me photographers.
I spent probably half an hour past my bedtime last night
on TikTok.
in a deep hole of where is Kate Middleton. So
I have no idea.
it's
What
a
did you
slippery
learn? What did you
slope.
learn? Where is she?
She's probably dead.
Oh
I don't
God.
know. We're going to find out soon.
Oh no.
The palace
Oh,
will
my
be
God.
making an announcement. So yeah,
You heard it here first.
yeah. Breaking news. Also, this is gonna come out in the future. So if she is dead, R.I.P.
She's okay.
R.I.P.
I don't know her very well, but
God, that was
she's
dark.
okay. Yeah, I struggle with the scroll. I'm like
It's so hard.
I'm a neurospicy, and like love that cheap dopamine. I'm just like,
Yeah.
give it to me,
Yeah.
and it's not good.
No, it's not good.
I need to practice. Getting rid of
So
it
we're
more
gonna
often.
end this, throw out our phones, and never like a photo again.
Yeah. We're all getting landlines. Lisa's number, in case you call, is
Right before we started recording, I have a landline. 0 people have the number to it, like actually 0.
So many people call you.
But Amazon called to tell me. I don't know what they're calling. I hung up on them.
$1,000 for this package.
Yeah.
the spam, the robots have your number.
That's true. Someone out there's giving it away.
Maybe we'll just give it out and see who calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of fun.
Just call me on my house phone from now on, guys.
We're going analog.
Well, this has been such a good conversation. I
gosh,
knew
so
we would
good.
like have so many topics.
And I feel like we really like stuck true to our name with this one, like the no filter, because like these are a lot of like faux pas
They're
topics
sensitive, yeah.
that people don't like to bring up and actually say in front of clients.
They
or
talk
in
about
front
it
of
in the
other
group
people.
chat, and
Yeah.
they never talk about shit.
Yeah,
in
it's
real
not
life.
public. No,
No.
it's never really
So
spoken about.
as tough as it is to talk about this and have like clients really know like what the behind the scenes is, bro.
Yeah.
That is
Bruh.
it's the truth, right? Like
Yeah.
Or bringing out the behind the scenes.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Well, should we lighten the mood and play our game?
Sorry, that went a little heavy.
no.
I think it was the Kate Middleton talk that brought it down.
Yeah.
Okay, Bree, do you know how our game works? I do or boo?
Please remind me. I do your boo.
I do or boo.
Okay.
Yeah. So like hot or not.
Yeah.
Smash or pass.
So kind of rapid fire, but
Smash
if you
or
want to
pass.
like
I love that one.
elaborate on any of them, feel
Okay.
free to elaborate.
Okay,
I'm
well,
a really indecisive person, so this is gonna be hard.
yeah. Just give us your hot take.
All very indecisive,
Yeah,
so.
Okay,
I'm ready.
group chat.
I do. I
Yeah.
love a good group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a side chat from the group chat.
Oh yeah,
There's the
that's
group
fun.
chat, and then
Yeah.
there's like
That's
your
the side
comments.
chat.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
commentate on the
Yeah,
group chat. I gotta say boo, you guys. I can't.
No,
No, that's true.
Y'all know I'm a give me a
Observer.
phone call or a FaceTime. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna text you.
You love a cold FaceTime.
Oh, I love
Sophia
it.
just
I'll be
FaceTimes me.
literally in the middle of anything
Out of
and I'll
nowhere.
answer. You
Yeah.
got me.
Wow.
I was getting out of the shower the other day and I answered.
This is true.
I want to be more like that.
Get ready.
I want to be more of like pick up the phone and call.
Get ready, phone's gonna be blowing up. We're calling.
Yeah. Let me up. Give my number
Just
to
all the
spam
random
robots.
FaceTimes. Be careful.
Amazon's gonna be calling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Next one.
This is a thing. Well, we'll ask you at first,
yeah.
and we'll get into it. Voice notes.
Voice notes. Okay, I am such an awkward voice noter. Awkward.
Agreed.
Like lots of ums and ahs and like pauses, and I'm like, what was I talking about? What was I responding to?
Yeah.
But I kind of like them anyways.
Some people have been, or some people in my world that I communicate with have replaced texting with voice notes.
Oh, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's a lot. When you see like a whole row and you're
7
like
minutes
out
of voice
in the store or
notes.
something. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not there yet.
I don't know how people feel okay just talking like to
Yeah.
their like
Yeah.
voice to text. 100%.
Oh,
Like
no, even
any
less
day.
for me.
Any day.
No, I don't have
never
it.
gets
I
it
don't use
right.
it.
It's like it's clearly a robot interpreting
True.
the English language.
But you will not see me. Oh, actually, you remember when that app came out that was something house
Party?
or not house party? No, sorry, it's like the
It was
photography.
trying to replace Instagram.
Yeah, I was trying to replace
yeah.
Instagram for a while.
What was
I
it
don't think
called?
I don't think I joined it.
It was like a business chat. I
I was
never
like,
did
I
either.
don't think this is going anywhere.
It
No.
was like you
had to like talk. Like it was like no, not visual, but everyone was speaking, and like bro, I was shaking the first time I used it because I was so nervous to like actually be speaking to someone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if I messed up or whatever? But yeah, so like
When someone you don't know sends you a voice note, like I had someone do that
You're inducing.
not too long ago, and I was like, why does this feel so intimate?
Yeah.
And, like vulnerable. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna respond through texting you back.
That's what I do. I text back.
Sorry. So Bree will accept, like she'll accept.
If I know you, I'll voice
You're
you
not
back.
getting one back.
If I know you, I'll send you one back. But be prepared for like 30 to 60 seconds of me being like, what was I talking about? Like and you have to love me anyway. So
Yeah.
We do. Okay, editing dates.
Oh, I do.
Yes,
I do.
Huge I
do.
Let's do more of them.
Please.
Yeah, let's do it.
And if anyone wants to join,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah.
Send us a voice note.
Can we can we also do our taxes together? Because that would be
Absolutely
great.
not.
If by you
That'd be
mean
awesome.
us together, like my accountant going through the box of receipts I'm sending,
I
then
do
yeah.
that on my own.
I do that too.
I do
actually,
that
but
on
it's
my
not a
own.
pretty procedure around here.
No.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some moral support. to
Honestly,
tackle
I'm not
that
ready.
shit.
Mine are coming in late this year.
Same.
If you're the CRA, just settle down. Okay, workshops.
Oh, workshops. Haven't been to one in a long time. Long time. Yeah. I think it depends on who's teaching it and what the vibe is and how many other people are going to be there.
Yes, that's a huge one.
They are also outrageously expensive these days. So I'm like, I used to go to a bunch that were super fun and inspiring.
Well, let's put
Seems
on
like
our
they
own.
were a little more. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while.
It's true.
Maybe
Yeah.
after we do our taxes.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just
Why?
a tax workshop. It's super fun. Join us.
Very creative.
You're really solid, Bree.
Yeah, I think I would do a workshop if it was somewhere cool.
Yeah.
Like
Something
bring
different.
me to Mexico. Let's go to
Yes.
Mexico and
Yeah.
do a workshop, because somewhere where I'm like, I want content from there.
We can also enjoy a freaking
yeah,
trip.
yeah.
Content and the experience.
Yeah.
And I feel like someone who has a different take or someone that has
someone I
something
really
kinda
admire.
different
Someone I
offer.
admire.
Yeah.
Not just like someone that put on a workshop because they heard they could make money doing
Yeah,
it. And
like
haven't.
me.
like us.
No, I feel like I always, whenever I hang out with you guys, I'm always leaving like with 5 different business ideas. Like,
Yeah.
You are a business lady.
I'm
We
like,
had
oh my
like a
God,
staff
idea.
meeting the other day, and it turned into us being like, let's
Okay, we need to settle
host a
that.
music festival.
What?
No,
I'm on board. I am so
We were like,
on
let's
board.
have a photographer like picnic in the
Oh
park,
my
and then
God.
we'll like sell wristbands. I don't know. Things
I
fell
am
apart real quick.
Super down. Another thing you may or may not know about me is I love music festivals.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would never plan one
Bree is-
without you.
Of
Yeah.
course, you'd be the lead. Like, we would have you up there singing.
So I'm ready. I'm ready for my
DJ
What?
Bree.
Yes, I'm gonna be a DJ. I haven't learned anything yet. I do have one piece of the equipment.
Oh,
So
First step.
first step.
amazing.
And then also I do want to learn how to sing and
Yeah.
perform.
Oh my God.
So we could just have
You got
me
a
as
lot.
the
Do
only
it.
entertainment for this music festival.
It's the opener and the main.
It'll be your first gig.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Trading creative shoots.
Do you mean like shooting each other?
Shooting each other or like, yeah.
Creative
Oh,
trade.
like swap, like
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
a swap.
Yeah.
little swippy swap.
I say I do. Yeah.
I guess part of that could be like, doing like Sophia was saying, shooting for free, but to do something creative that fuels your soul.
Yeah. I think it's fun because it's a friend.
Yeah.
It's another creative who we get pretty comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I think we
I
kind of
mean, Apparently not, because a lot of people I've talked to recently are like
Scared of the camera.
scared. They're photographers, but they don't want to be on the other side. And I'm like, like that's so.
I don't want to
bizarre
say
to
red
me.
flag, but it's
You heard it here first, guys. The red flag.
I don't know. We did the three of us did a creative shoot on a rooftop once, and things got real wild.
They got fun.
Yeah.
That was way too much fun. We got a sign put up from someone across the way saying "I love you" or something.
Yeah, in their
Like an
office window.
building.
Yeah.
Okay, we need.
We
to
were
do
running
more.
around in our like underwear. On the
Yeah.
beach with champagne.
I think someone had their top up.
Naturally.
But I think it helps to be in front of the camera. 'Cause,
It does.
like,
Oh,
to
it
be on the
does.
other side,
Yeah.
because then you know what your clients feel.
Yeah.
You
I
need
think
to.
every photographer needs to be doing that
Yeah,
often.
yeah.
Like, if anyone was to ever take a posing course from me, literally all I would be like is like, just keep moving, because literally just keep moving.
Well,
Like,
now
you
no
know,
one's
so
gonna buy
mad.
the tickets because you already told
I
them.
spilled the
Oh
secret.
my god!
Frick.
There's
Okay,
other tips.
back it up.
There's other tips that out. Also, a great DJ.
I see.
some surprises.
I see big plans in our future, guys.
Yes. After this, like once we wrap up, we're literally
Yeah,
just
we're
gonna
gonna
be like
We're gonna be
having
planning
some-
something big after this.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all we've
Oh my
got. But this has
gosh.
been so nice.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you
has
for
been so lovely.
coming to catch up with us.
Yeah.
We
on
need
the
to
pod.
be doing this on a regular. You're gonna see Bree on here a little bit more because I think
Nice.
midsummer when we're literally all in our
Yeah.
fields and everything,
We're
we
gonna
need to
need
have
some
a little
therapy.
therapy session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Amazing.
Okay. Should we have a little cheers?
Oh my gosh, we actually didn't even have a cheers at the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
like,
cheers at the end.
Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks, Bree. We love you.
I love you guys.
Oh wait. Where can everyone find you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Tell everyone that what you have going on.
Sure. So I'm on Instagram at breeze.photography. Breeze like a breeze. It's like play on words.
Clever.
Yeah, and I'm on there. I'm not posting regular content, but I am sharing a lot of memes and
She's
funny
creeping.
videos.
She's
showing
showing
who
I'm there.
Yeah.
I also have a website, www.breezephotos.ca.
Yes.
And
What's your 2024-2025
Yeah.
season looking like? Can people be still inquiring for 2024 or
yeah, I have I would probably be able to book 1 or 2 more weddings for this year for 2024. 2025 is quite open. Also, I'm planning to be in Mexico next winter.
Yes.
For a while, so I would love
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
to
Yeah, immediately.
What are you thinking?
Also,
Well, we
how
should come and
long?
visit.
Yeah, we're
come.
gonna-
Yeah.
We all
I'm gonna
need
be
to
there for. I want to be
months.
down there for a while.
Yes.
So if anyone's getting married in Mexico, I'm really into shooting a wedding or 2 while I'm down there.
This is what you need and what Mexico needs. Like you're just
I love Mexico. I love
needs
Mexico.
Bree.
Shout out
Yeah.
Mexico.
Big fans of Mexico.
If you want to sponsor Bree,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't know. I'm not sure about the counseling route where that's gonna go yet. But stay tuned. Stay
I'm
tuned.
excited
Stay
to find
tuned.
out.
Yeah.
well, another cheers, you guys.
Okay.
So excited. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening and following along. It would mean the world to us if you could subscribe and leave a rating and a review. 5 stars only.
We come out with new episodes every second Thursday. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the NFF Podcast and on YouTube at No Fucking Filter Podcast.
We would love to hear from you if you have any episode ideas or any crazy stories to tell.
We are always accepting new sponsorships, or if you'd like to be featured on the podcast, feel free to reach out. Bye.
Bye.